Welcome, this is Vedagavia, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Lübeck. I hope you've had a lovely weekend. I have, I'm sure to say. And yeah, this is where we left off last time, with me having finished this section here of the Misa railway station, and I've actually managed to finish the whole thing now. Apart from the fact that the portal needs moving, it's kind of in the way here. But yeah, we can do that later on. So this is what it turned out like. We have this stair going down here to these sections that I did. And looking up, it looks kind of impressive. You see the floor, well, not the floor maybe, you see the roof or the ceiling. And on this side, the stair is not as steep and the sections are smaller. But I think it looks great anyway. It is these sections that I think makes the station here actually. But these add to it, and I think maybe I should put the portal here facing that way, or I should remove this section and make a room inside there and put a portal there. I haven't really decided yet. Anyway, enough about last week's episode. This is this week's episode, or this Tuesday's episode. No, it's not. It's this Thursday's episode. Sorry, I'm confused. And today we're going to do something completely different. We're going to go back to my main base, and we're going to have a little look at it, because I have discovered lately that I have some problems at my base, and the solution to the problems is quite lengthy, but it starts with us making a stable for my horses. And so I'm going to go over there, and we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to try and do. So here we are at the root of the problem. The root of the problem is that this is my storage room. I call it the bank. And yeah, as you can see, there are a couple of chests here, but it's not enough. Okay, it's not enough. I have more stuff. I have stuff in pretty much all of my little sub bases, and I've tried to solve the problem by putting more chests up here, and yeah, you can see some of the chests are just chocker full. It's really annoying to have to go up the stair to get to the sorting or to the stuff. I've also put chests down here with food, and it's, yeah, I've sort of managed to spread out and yeah, in an attempt to sort of make it bearable. But because nowadays there are more blocks than when I started, and because I now am building bigger things than when I started out, this just is not big enough. And the building as well is starting to look a little bit tired maybe. I do like the general feel of the building, so from a distance I like what it looks like, but obviously it's not very decorated. It's only cobblestone everywhere and stuff like that. So that something needs to be done with this. I don't think I'm going to tear it down, but I'm going to do something clever with it. Maybe build the storage system in the basement of it or something like that. But we'll get to that later, right? So here is the second problem, and that is this ugly thing. I think I mentioned already in the very first episode of this series that this is ugly, but everybody has to have a wizard's tower. And to be honest, the main use of this thing has been for me to find my way home when I get lost in the surroundings, because you see it from everywhere, and it is a very nice little beacon like that. So that's the next thing that needs to be done. I need to rebuild this into something equally high but much nicer looking. And so all of these changes up here, yeah, anyway, this is the third problem, which is also up here. This is my house, or sort of where I live, and obviously it's also very small, and it feels really piddly. And this is actually, because I have now got the cat, this is actually my bed. So it's too small. Everything up here is too small and too old, and it needs redoing. Okay, but if we go down a bit to this level, I've cleared out my old sugarcane farm because I have a new one which is a lot better over yonder, and I've just recently, as you've seen, made a new chicken farm, so this can go. These old things, the semi-automatic wheat and carrot and potato farms, well, I rarely use them. I don't often eat those things, and I suppose I need some sort of farm for these things, but I'm thinking of a micro farm because I now have unlimited access to bone meal in my skeleton farm, so these can go. So basically I will clear up quite a bit here. I will clear basically up this whole hill that I'm situated on. What I will definitely not clear up is my little garden area here and the sort of tree canopy type thing that I have here, because I do like these things. They're my most recent additions to the base, and yeah, they need to stay. So that brings us down here, right? In order for me to be able to move these things out, I need to organize down here first. And well, this is my horse pen, and it's not much to look at. Hello, dude. Hello. Are you gonna open your mouth again? Yeah, so this is my horse pen. It's not much to look at, and for the longest time I've been meaning to build a stables for my horses, pretty much where the pen is now. So I thought that's the best way to start, and then we'll sort of work our way up. So we'll start with this today. I'll see if I can finish it, I don't know, but I'll do as much as I can, and then later on we will remove this lot, and then we will rebuild up there and probably move some of the functions that are up there now out to this new space that we will have here and here. So that is the plan. I've made a new entrance into my base, or started making a new entrance, and that is because I suspect that my bank is going to contain maybe only the most used items, and then there's going to be a bulk storage for things down here. But anyway, that's for later. Off to the stables. The first thing I need to do is I need to move my horses, and I hate moving animals. It's really fiddly, so I'm going to do it off camera, and I'll be back later. A good 10 minutes later, and they're moved. Yeah, that's horrible. It's horrible to move animals. They just don't want to do what you want to do. Anyway, they can live here for the minute, and I'm gonna go and tear down their old pen. And while I do that, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my current troubles. The last video did not turn out the way I wanted it to, and the main reason for that is that I have yet to find a decent editing software. And I had so much problems. I wanted to do a time lapse, but I just couldn't get it to work. I will say, by the way, I'm not a very experienced editor or anything like that, but I'm very computer literate, and I would have thought it wouldn't be that much of a hassle to try and find a decent software to edit my videos in, but boy was I wrong. So in the end I actually ended up, or I have been for the last episodes, ended up doing my editing in YouTube, which is kind of ridiculous if you think about it. Oh, I have my Silk Touch thingamabob with me, so that's good. And I mean, it's very, very, very limiting to do editing like that, but that's what I've been doing now. And I don't know, my main problem seems to be that no matter what program I try and open my my raw files in, which by the way are in the MP4 format, it seems to work, but then all of a sudden, or when I try and play them back in, for instance, Windows Movie Maker, or I have a new one now that I installed just before this that I had high hopes for, called Shortcut. And anyway, what happens is that the video just freezes up and it refuses to play. And so I mean, my thought was, okay, this is a codec issue, but yeah, I can't find any codecs for MPEG-4. It just doesn't seem to exist for Windows 10, which is what I'm running. And I gotta say, I do like Windows 10 so far, but apart from this problem. But yeah, if you guys know anything that can help me out, please leave a comment about that. That would be lovely, because you know, it's driving me up the walls, to summarize. Right, so why am I looking at this building here? Don't mind the vines, by the way. Well, this is the barn where I have cows and sheep and pigs, and obviously the stables is going to mirror that in style somewhat. It's not going to be nearly as big, of course, but it's going to be sort of the same style. So we're going for a bit of oak wood. I might mix it up a bit more than I did in this build, and then a well, I want to say pine forest roof, or pine wood roof, but I'm sure it's called something else. Spruce, that's it, yeah. Spruce roof. And wooden beams and that. We're going to have that. I might mix it up with a bit of stone. I'm thinking a bit of diorite. And we're going to try and have the same sort of roof, which is what I would call a typical barn roof, which is very steep towards the edges and then is less steep as you go up, and quite flat at the top. Because I do like that type of roof, and I like the way it turned out. So I think I will repeat that. In terms of size of this thing, well, it's going to start pretty much where the farm ends here, and because the farm is going, so the space is not a problem really. And then it's going to go from around here and then back to somewhere around here. It's going to go this way to around here. And then in the end there's going to be an entrance at either end, and then there's going to be a bigger entrance here, or exit. And this is going to lead to a larger pen, you might say. And I want to have that there to... It's supposed to look like a proper riding stable would look like. So you ride out of the stable with your horse, and then you can do some practice runs around there and stuff like that. Now it's raining. I'm sorry about that, guys. I might go inside actually and continue talking. Now the horse stable has some requirements that normal stables don't, because horses are quirky. I think maybe the main... That's a satisfied customer for whom I helped build a barn mine very long time ago, but I still have yet to eat the cake. Yeah, the horses need a opening which is 2 wide to be able to go out, and 3 high if you're supposed to ride through it. And so obviously the doors or portals or the openings, they need to be bigger than usual. And so we're going to do that, but at the same time you don't want to have them being that big at all times, because obviously then the horses will just run out. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some redstone doors for the stables, and that's going to be good fun. And yeah, I think that's about it. I will start the build once the rain is gone, and I will give you a status update in a bit. Okay, so we're back here, and we have some sort of outline for the building, for our stables. There's going to be an entrance here, one on this side. In fact, there's going to be one on either, in the middle of each wall. And I've started with with the doors that are going to lead in, and they are piston controlled, little tiny redstone doors. So when you step on this, they disappear and the horses can get out, and when you step off of it, they close again. So that's the functionality from this side. From the other side, up high there's going to be a button that's going to do the same thing. So that redstone is going to have to go down and hook up with the stuff underneath here. Yeah, this super simple redstone. I'm going to try and build one on screen here just to show you in case you don't know how to do it. It's quite a nifty little trick. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so these doors are going to have to be in the middle. So this thing here has to go. And then they're going to be 3 wide, so there's going to be a beam here instead. So like so. And to hide the pistons from the inside as well, we put in beams there as well. So these are going to be the entrances. And then the next step is to swiftly but firmly place down the sticky pistons like that. And then some wood to act as actual doors. So there we go. Way to activate these, like I said, 3 pressure plates here. And then underneath is going to go all the redstone. So I need to dig down a little hole here. Just a second. I've undone my work. Darn it. I forever do this. I've built quite a lot of redstone now in Minecraft. I haven't built tons, but I'm by no means an expert, but I do know the basics of it. And one of the things that I've discovered is that the first and foremost thing you need to absolutely positively do when you're building with redstone is to have some sort of block that distinguishes your different redstone lines out. And well, as you can see, I'm using wool of the blue variety in this kind, or sorry, in this instance is what I'm trying to say. And you know, it might seem like an unnecessary thing and all that, but actually, you know what, it saved my bacon numerous times. We're gonna have to do something inventive with those beams, because for symmetry reasons there needs to be something here. Well, we'll figure that out later. So the thing with these, let's just for instructional purposes, bear with me a second here. I'm gonna lay this all out. Okay, so the idea here is that the redstone travels along this line here and to here, and these pistons, when you're not pressing the button or standing on the pressure plate, they need to be extended. So by default these pistons needs to be powered, and the way to achieve that is to basically put a redstone torch underneath like that, and that powers the bottom one, and the redstone torch also powers the block above it, which is this block. So if we just put a piece of redstone on there, that also gets powered from the same redstone torch. And now these two are extended, and what the pressure plates now will do is it will fire up this redstone here, which will deactivate this torch. And if it deactivates that torch, it deactivates that piece of redstone, and then both of these retract. Because redstone is a bit like maths, as you probably know, in that 2 plus signals equals a minus signal, and so on. So now that's how it should work. So there we go, that's the first one. And the second one we're going to build exactly the same. So we remove that and we dig down a bit. And now this time I will not dig 1 block too little. So let's see, let's just make a bigger hole here so we can see what we're up to. This piece of wool is underneath the leftmost pressure plate as you face the barn, and so this is under the middle one and this is under the rightmost one. And then we just mirror this here. I'm going to put a piece of dirt there actually. And then wool on top and chuck down some redstone. Will I have enough? I will have exactly enough. You know what? I totally planned this from the beginning. Completely planned this. I of course didn't. I'm just lucky in this case. So there we go, and then finally a bit of redstone, and that should be done. Well, actually, when I'm looking at these doors, the more I look at them, the better I like them, because obviously this area is well lit up, and there are never any monsters here. Famous last words, by the way. So it doesn't necessarily need to be completely closed, but what I like about it is that you can actually go in and out without opening the door as well. You can if you jump. Oh dear, I fail at jumping. Okay, here we go. So there we go. You can do that, and at the same time, from the inside, you can easily open the doors and let the horses out. So, yeah, it's a nice solution, and I'm going to go ahead and build 2 more. One here and one here, and then I'm going to start building the walls up. And when I've done a bit of that, I will be back. And we're back. And yeah, this is what it looks like so far. This is going to be the entrances. I've added some little sticks there, just really for looks. It looks finished on this side. I haven't finished the other sides. And I've decided to go for diorite rather than oak wood, like we have on here. However, I'm going to add a lot of details in oak wood later on, and so it is basically a bit darker than the other building, but I do think it'll fit in. Or I might rebuild this, although that is quite a big project, so I might not. But anyway, so we're having some windows here, floor windows. It looks a bit contemporary maybe, but I prefer that anyway to well, to just having one little window there. And then we have some lights like this. We're going to have some lights like this outside of the windows. And I might go for a similar theme of lights in here. We'll see. I have added the buttons that we're going to open the doors with from the inside. However, I haven't connected up the redstone yet. I will do that later on. And yeah, that's the way it looks so far. I'm quite pleased with how it's coming along. But there is a but. I have run out of time, so I'm going to have to continue this off camera, I think, and I will show the results in the next episode, or maybe I will actually manage to film a little bit more of my building it, and then include that in next week's video. But anyway, this has been the beginning, you might say then, of the stable build. There's one more thing I should mention, by the way, and that is that on the inside here, at least to begin with, I am not going to do any sort of you know, penning in or anything like that. I'm going to have this as an open space where the horses can just roam around. And that is mainly really because I don't want to fiddle around with more redstone in the building. It's not that big, and I think the horses can do with the space instead. Also, it's easier to just go in here and fetch whatever one you want, and it's easier to breed them when they're just not in pens and stuff like that. So I think there are those kinds of advantages as well. And I think as the night draws near in Lübeck, that we're going to say thank you very much for watching this episode. If you liked it, please leave a like. You can also share it with your friends, and obviously if you really liked it, please subscribe. This has been Let's Play Lübeck, and I am Vedagavia, and I will sign off here. Bye bye!